Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your general 2019. It's your April reading. And I'm Jade with yesYesYES. I'm filming this when it's still in Mercury retrograde, so it's been quite a fun time. So what this is, and welcome if you're new to the channel, welcome. I do lots of different readings, but this is the general. It's based on the overall 2019, which I will link in the box below. And we're going to start with the Mystical Shaman deck. We had two cards come out for you for the whole year. We've got Completion and Taming the Wind. And both of these cards, the completion is this year, we're really ending a cycle. Something's coming to completion. And it's the process of paying tribute to what it is, all the good, looking at all the good that it gave you, right? And this, this could be a job, it could be, a particular situation, but it can also be just a way of being, and that you are getting ready to step into your next level self, which I talk about a lot, and I think that a lot of us are going through that. So you're completing a cycle this year. And taming the wind for you, Scorpio, is really making sure that you are in alignment with your spiritual self and that you are utilizing words in a way that is positive and effective. So it's very easy for Scorpios to use their words and just cut things and move on, right? But people need to learn from you because you're able to use your words in such a succinct way, right? To state the truth of how things are. So think about tempering just a little bit, and I bring that up because that's the next cards. Think about tempering yourself, your words just a bit so that others can learn from you. And if you're kind of resisting that, and I get that, what I will say is that maybe journal first. Try, or at least, how about this? I'm not going to try to tell Scorpios what to do. So what I'm going to say is that this card is about harnessing the power of your words in a way that might be a different way. So if it is utilizing journals, but you're really connecting to your spiritual nature through your words this year. That's what I'll say. Now, specifically this month, we have the Temperance card. And that card is a Sagittarius card, but it's a card of balance. It's a card of healing. And it's, Jupiter, it's the benevolent. And so it's actually quite a lovely blessing for you this month, Scorpio, because I think that we're coming out, of the wintering in the Northern Hemisphere. And in the Southern Hemisphere, you're stepping into the fall, which might feel really good to relax into after having a crazy summer. So temperance is really drawing those two energies. It's a shouldering season type of card where it draws the two energies of the seasons together to balance and to have a smooth transition. Now, you're being clarified by the key, which is also telling me that there's a truth to be learned in this, that something's going to be unlocked when you're able to settle into that energy of balance and healing that's really coming up for you this month. So there's something that's going to be unlocked, I believe. It can also lock something up, but I feel like because we're going through the opening, it's unlocking, okay? So we'll keep these cards to the side, and then I'm going to clarify with the Klimt Tarot. And these have been pre-shuffled for Scorpio for April 2019. What do we have for Scorpio? Where are we coming from? All right, now I've had a lot of jumping cards, like way across the room jumping cards. So so do bear with me here. We've got all reversals here. So in the past, we're coming from a place of looking clearly at a situation and maybe resisting doing things the way that we've always done them. Maybe resisting transforming or going to the depths of them. What we're being called to do is we were being called to go inwards like we normally do, but I feel like there was some resistance in doing things the way that the Scorpio normally does things. And it could have been because you wanted to try on a different role for size, just to kind of see what it would be like. It's interesting because these are all cards that you know, it's going through the depths, looking through the situation, but then we had your card, the death card, that came up in the reverse. So that's my question is, you know, what is it that Scorpio was not doing that was very Scorpio natured? And then the Queen of Chalices, which is also your card, right? Coming out in the reverse. So I'm feeling like in the past, you just weren't in your energy. And I know that there's been a couple of those readings that have come out just over the winter time where your power was tamped down, probably because of other people trying to, like, I feel like there was a lot of deception or people trying to take advantage of the Scorpios. And I feel like you just pulled your energy in and just kind of shut it down, and in a way that was different than normal. So you might have actually felt more pained by a deceit from another, or their attempt to deceive you. So it might have affected you differently, a little bit more so than normal, because you went into it just a little bit more, maybe. And that's not true. Sorry, that's not what I mean. I was thinking about it being that, you know, you were looking at the truth and then going within, but there was the resistance of it. It was, you were not in your best, in your power. I think that what I'm feeling is that you were trying to balance it all out and resisting, perhaps even using the words, like we were talking about, using your words in the way that you normally do. Like maybe you didn't want to cut it down, that you really did want it to work out. Let's see what's going on for the present, because that past is just you not being in your full energy, which I don't like. And so, you know, and I'm glad it's in the past. So that's one thing. Okay. All right. So interesting. So we have both Cancer and Aquarian energy showing up. Some movement forward, wanting to really draw into your connection with the divine, draw into the power that you have with what's greater than yourself. And I'm saying that because the Stars card is here. It did come out in the reverse. So the Stars is our higher selves. It's our next best incarnation, because that's a Scorpio way of looking at it. And I feel like there's just a little bit of resistance, even though you have to move towards that. Like, I think that you know that's exactly what you need to do, is move towards your next incarnation, but you just don't want to do it. Maybe it's just more work that you just don't want to take on. And it could be that that's the balance here, is that really it doesn't have to be as deep as a deep Scorpio way. Maybe it's maybe it doesn't have to be in the same way. Maybe it is a graduation to the next self, just by, you don't have to feel it. You don't have to go through, I feel like I said this in another reading for yours, in fact, is that maybe you don't have to feel through everything to such a degree that it takes you down so that you have to rebuild and you know, go through the whole Phoenix Rising thing. Like, you don't have to go to that extreme, Scorpio. I'm feeling like it's challenging you to do things in a different way, which is probably why in the past you were kind of out of sorts. So how can we get Scorpio back in their power, back in your power, so that you can next level, to move yourself to the next place without having to go so deep to come back out? That's the question. And the Eight of Pentacles is here to tell us that other people will recognize this work in you, okay? So this is work that you have to do. That's what I'm feeling here, is that the Scorpio work this month in April is about doing things in a lighter way. And people who do things in a light, like, if you have Geminis in your life, learn from them in this lighter way. And who else would be a good one? Well, Cancer's here. So Cancers feel in a lighter way. So I think both of those energies can actually be beneficial for you this month, that you can bring anything into fruition. We know this. You have so much power to transform the world, transform your life. But what I'm feeling from the cards is that it's urging you to do things in a way that is not as detrimental, not as heavy, Scorpio, and you're still going to get the same results. So I think it's doing things in a different way so that you can see, oh my gosh, I don't have to completely shed my skins and, you know, open up my heart and go to this deep, dark place and then unravel everything and then come back out a whole new person. Like, you don't have to go through this whole regeneration process with every change in life. You can just choose to be another person, and you don't have to go down to come back up. That's what I mean. So it's a very heady way of living. That's why I said find a Gemini, because they live in their heads. So it's making the choice of what you want your life to be like, how you want to be in life, and making the choice in your mind to do that, right? So it's mind over matter. It's fake it till you make it kind of thinking, and thinking is the term. So you're making a choice. It's needed. It needs to happen, right? This choice. There's movement towards it. This is what's unlocking for you, I think, is that, you know, we're completing the cycle of doing things the hard way, Scorpio. Look at that. See, the cards are flying out again. We're completing the cycle. We don't have to do things the hard way. There's no reason for it anymore. There's still some struggle here in the front, in the near future. And I think it's this new birth, this shedding of skins that's uncomfortable, but it's doing things like, you know, we're doing things in a different way. So there's going to be some growing pains in that. Now, we've got not wanting to look at the past anymore, and really, again, trusting intuition to move you forward. Now, I'm not getting specifically what we're talking about, Scorpio. What I feel like is, again, we're talking about Scorpio nature in general. So in the past, you were totally out of whack. Something threw you, or you just realized the way that things were in your life was not working, and you didn't quite know how to change it, because doing things the way that you've always done them was just kind of spinning your wheels. You weren't able to make the change. What's happening right now for you is, I think that you're really opening up to a new way, okay? And this is a new way of being in a relationship. This is a new way of being at work in collaboration with others, or doing your work, coming at it from a totally different way, where you just decide this would be the way to do it, or this is the way I want to do it, and then you just become it. It's not about going through the process of kinesthetically, right, of viscerally feeling it and then becoming it. It's just deciding, I'm going to do that now. I hope this is making sense, because I'm not getting, maybe I'll get some clarification on what we're talking about. Let me do that. From the past, I don't normally like to clear up the past, because I like that it's in the past, but in the past we're talking about what took you off. Okay, so we've got Three of Cups in the past. So we're looking at, there was celebration, there was maybe, you know, 3 people, and it could be a relationship, but it could also be just a work relationship, a collaboration, and there was something about you're not finding joy in living like everyone else was. Things were just passing by, and you just were not on, you know, it's like you were in the back of the car just watching life pass by. You were not feeling it. You were not in alignment with it, and you weren't in alignment with yourself. Something was just definitely off about whatever that connection, that collaboration, or that relationship was. It just was off. It took you off your game, and you removed yourself from it, and you also removed yourself from your powers, because you knew that if you were to speak your truth the way that the Scorpio would, that everything would, you know, you'd have a tower moment. Everything would come crashing down around you, and I feel like intuitively you didn't want to do that. You didn't want to have to go and rebuild all over again, okay? And you don't have to. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so in the present, we've got a new emotive connection coming through. So this, I'm feeling again, is you connecting to you. Now, if it's a relationship and there was some too many people involved in the past, and that really threw you, right now what I'm seeing is that that person may want to come back or want to talk with you about that, process through with you about what was really going on in the past. Now, I'm going to urge you to decide for yourself, is it in your best interest to open up this conversation with them? Is it going to help you heal? Because it feels to me like the healing that's needed to be done for you is to choose your own path moving forward. And it has nothing to do with anyone else. So what I'm feeling is that, if it's going to be helpful for you to decide how to go at life differently, how to approach life differently by having this conversation, if you want to, refuse. Okay, if you want to refuse that person, but what I was going to say is, if you want to forgive that person from the past in order to move on, you may have that opportunity to do so in the present. The other thing is that it may just feel fine for that person to be in your life saying, hey, I was wrong, I really kind of screwed up, whatever, and it's okay for them to be around without being let in, okay? But I'm feeling again that you are being urged to show how hard you're working at being different, at checking yourself in at a different level. That's what I'm feeling where you're at right now in the present tense. And again, there is some balance that needs to be done. It's not just a black or white. I know you like that. I know that it's usually on or off for you, Scorpio, but I really feel like you might enjoy going about healing in a different way. Woo! Am I challenging a Scorpio? I might be the ones who challenging a Scorpio. Now, please, just know I love you. I do. And I'm not saying that the way in which you do things is wrong by any means. No, no, no. What I'm just saying is that the cards are showing me that you've been out of sorts. So I'm trying to get you in a different way and a different sorts, because we are really healing. We're really healing, and this is a cycle, right? This is a cycle. We're really trying to come to completion with one cycle so that we can move on to the next. In the near future, Seven of Swords came up. So if it is this person, they're still kind of around being sneaky. The other thing is that Seven of Swords is that energy of taking care of you. It's because that energy comes up. We start sneaking around because we don't feel like we're getting our needs met. And so we're grabbing these swords, trying to, take care of ourselves, make sure that we have enough. It's really about self-worth. So in the near future, you're still struggling with some self-worth. You really don't want to look back in the past. So whatever this situation, if it was a relationship, if it was a work situation, you don't want that past again, okay? And that you really, the power is that if you tune into your higher self, which is different than your lower self, okay? So tune into that higher frequency. I think that's this Taming of the Wind card that we were talking about, that the spiritual nature of Scorpio, the higher elevated Scorpio self, okay? The wise, intuitive, actionable, glorious, truth-telling, but from a clear place, from a place of compassion and understanding and detachment even. So I think that's what we're really talking about, is detachment. That's where your power is. That's the next level Scorpio that this reading is talking about, that the cards are challenging. It is me too. Scorpio, you're beautiful. I love your power. I love how you can wield your power in any way that you want to. And I would love to see you wield your power in an elevated way that lifts everyone up, so that we can see, oh my God, because that's what it's about. It's about us recognizing the parts of you in us, so that then we can all level up with you. That's what's really going on in all of this. I hope this makes sense. So if it's a relationship, if it's a work situation, whatever it is, it's sneaking around, it's still kind of sticking, but you are being challenged to move outside of it, to not be affected by it, and to go to a wiser, non-judgmental and detached place to decide your next step in life. So April is really healing and transitioning. And it's transitioning and setting you up for the rest of the year, really. I don't feel like this stuff is going to keep sticking around. I feel like this is, you know, that energy that's been trying to take you down, and I think that you're figuring out now how to move forward away from it. And that is your power, Scorpio. That's what I have for you. Let me know if it resonates. And if you liked it, give me that thumbs up. I like that so much. If you want to have a personal reading or you want to go into any of this in more detail, my information is in the box below. For now, Scorpio, I'm sending you all my love. We'll see you next time.